after some rest and reprieve from those massive lawsuits that we were involved in last year, I went back to business as normal back at the law firm, and was doing my thing, minding my own business for the most part. But then a group of parents came to me, and this may be of interest to central Pennsylvanians, to a group of parents from the South Middleton School District down there in Boiling Springs, a bunch of bubblers, and things were boiling over down in Boiling Springs, or bubbling over, if you will. You see, a group of parents had gotten together once they got wind of what the school district was planning. And the school district, apparently there were some letters written by some alumni of South Middleton School District to the school board complaining about racism in South Middleton School District. And the board got together and with the administration, and they decided that they were going to bring in this diversity consultant and have this diversity consultant train the teachers and administrators on her diversity consulting, whatever that actually is, and that they formed this task force called the JEDI Task Force, JEDI Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. And the task force has been meeting regularly and in consult with this consultant, this diversity consultant. And their goal is to revise the curriculum and indeed all of the policies and practices of the South Middleton School District. And the board voted in favor of this, and they retained this diversity consultant using monies from Act 44, which is the School Safety Act, authorizing up to $15,000 in taxpayer dollars being paid over to this diversity consultant to come into the school district and to help them incorporate this justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion into their curriculum and policies and practices. And it created quite a controversy. Many parents in the district objected to this. To what were they objecting to? Well, the JEDI program contains a lot of euphemisms, a lot of vague language about what it's all about, but you can, in some cases, you can see exactly what they are doing and what they're all about, and really it's the incorporation of something called critical race theory. And we'll talk more about critical race theory in a moment, but let me just say, in essence, this theory that comes out of academia, it essentially posits that every white person in America, which would include Pennsylvania and Cumberland County and South Middleton Township, is racist, and that this racism is inherent in all white people, and it's systematic in all of our institutions, and thus it must necessarily include South Middleton School District. And through this JEDI program, the teachers there right now in the task force, they're being trained and educated by this diversity consultant on how to implement this equity theory. It's really the critical race theory into the curriculum, practices, and policies of the school. And as I said, this has caused a great consternation and even anger among many parents down there in South Middleton who are concerned that their children are going to be subjected to this critical race theory. It really is, and as I say, we'll talk more about it, but it's really this left-wing political ideology. It's not education. The teachers are not currently being trained on how to teach math better or how to teach English better. They're being taught how to incorporate equity, whatever the heck that means, into the curriculum and into the practices and policies. So parents are concerned. They're concerned that if the school alters its curriculum and its policies and practices to include what this JEDI program is referring to as equity or equitable outcomes. And the JEDI program is talking about academic equity and disciplinary equity. And what that means is the academics and discipline, for example, are going to be looked at as to how to have an equitable result in academics and how to have an equitable result in discipline. And equity, and actually equity is a legal term, and I'm not sure that the academics mean it in that way, but over here in the law, equity, it's different from equality. And these diversity consultants and critical race theorists, they steer away from equality. They don't want to use that word anymore. They want to use a different word, and it's called equity. Because equity means whatever you want it to mean. Equity in the courts means what's fair and just. And we're going to talk more about this after we're going to break here for